After Matthew Edgar was charged with the murder of his ex-girlfriend Livye Lewis, his family paid his bail and he was released with an ankle monitor on. On the third day of testimony, his defense attorney Rob Hughes got a call. It was Matthew's mother, who called to tell him that Matthew had fled and was now a fugitive.
She just started frantically telling me that Matthew was gone. Matthew had run and he had taken a gun with him. And she was afraid he was going to kill himself.
Authorities said he waited for the battery to run out on his ankle monitor before leaving his home on foot. After deliberation, the jury had found Matthew guilty of Lewis's murder, but authorities still had to track him down. Livye's mom, Darcy, says she heard rumors that Matthew's mother had been spotted buying her son's favorite cigarettes and liquor in large quantities. Jeff Coulter, a special deputy with the U.S. Marshals, spent nearly a year working with the sheriff's office and other law enforcement agencies around the country to chase down every lead that came their way.
We had put in a lot of hours, a lot of weekends, a lot of late nights.
Then, a tip that Matthew might actually be hiding in plain sight, just yards from his grandparents' property, in this house that belonged to a family friend.
We were going to enter into the woods, make our way up to the back of the property, get as close as we could, and sit there and see if we could get a visual of him.
While Coulter led a team of 3 men into the woods, J.P. McDonough and his deputies were on the opposite side of the house, out of sight in their vehicles. If Coulter and his men made a positive ID on Matthew, they would finally have him cornered.
We went in about 4:30 in the afternoon. We knew it was going to get dark about 5:30. We got to probably about 100 yards of the house, and we heard barking. Come to find out they had a pretty good-sized Rottweiler in the backyard. And we're out there for an hour or so. We could hear voices. We could hear a female voice. We could hear a male voice. But it's so thick we can't see. Then we catch a violent thunderstorm. And it was lightning and thunder and torrential rain. It was miserable. But it was a blessing in disguise. The noise covered our movement.
They were 30 yards from the house when a second storm hit, but there was no giving up.
That's 11 months and 2 days. This needed to end tonight.
Drenched and exhausted, Coulter and his team could hear voices on the back porch of the house, but couldn't see faces. Until about 8 p.m., when a man stepped off the porch.
Walks around the side of the house, and he stands there.
One of Coulter's men immediately recognized that man as Matthew Edgar.
He goes, "He's here. I got eyes on him."
We got word that they had made a confirmation. We drove down, pulled in the driveway.
Back in the back. Watch the front.
I got movement. They're in the house.
Once we saw the lights, it was a 30-yard sprint, all 4 of us. We break the corner and we started screaming, law enforcement, police.
Sheriff's office, anybody outside, come out with your hands up!
He jumps up and he throws himself against the wall like, oh crap.
You got me.
Yeah, it was over with.
Did you guys make eye contact?
Absolutely. He said, "Hey, JP." I said, "Hey, Matthew." And then he asked me, "You haven't proven my innocence yet?" And I said, "No, Matthew. I have not."
Coulter says that's not all Matthew had to say that night.
He said, "Please don't shoot my mother."
Mother, please come out of the house.
His mother is in the house.
His mother's at the house.
Was she crying? Was she upset?
No, I think she acted amazed that he was there, like she didn't know what was going on.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to jail for something I don't even know nothing about.
Was she arrested as well?
Not at the time, she was not.
Can somebody get my purse with my seizure medicine?
On January 3rd, 2023, Matthew Edgar was formally sentenced for the murder of Livye Lewis, 99 years in prison with the possibility of parole after serving 30 years.